proud as Europeans, depend financially on Israel. Imagine that Europe were to do its duty today and sanction Israel. The Technical University of Munich stands to lose 195 million of funding in research projects in collaboration with Israeli entities. Ladies and gentlemen, it's important to remember the context, the historical context, and the guilt that the whole of Europe carries on its shoulders. After all, the pogroms against the Jews started here, in Europe. Europeans carried out genocides in Africa, in the Americas, in Australia. When we formed the European Union, we claimed a chance to make amends. However, our dependence on the United States and our ruling classes' penchant to profit from imperialism have made this impossible. Yet again, as a result, Europe's hands are covered in blood the blood of innocents in Gaza, in the Ukraine, in the Sudan, in Libya, in Yemen, in Syria. It has also brought totalitarianism back in our midst, here in Europe. Permit me a personal statement. When the German authorities banned me from entering Germany, including by Zoom, in April 2024, for the crime of co-organizing with German Jews a conference in Berlin on the theme of a just peace in the Middle East, they were making a point. To them, letting the rivers of Palestinian blood flow unimpeded represented their chance, that's how they saw it in their distorted mind, represented their chance of washing off their hands the guilt of the Holocaust. Over the other German genocide in Namibia, perhaps of Belgium's crimes against humanity in the Congo, there's a clear warning for us all. Economic stagnation in Europe begets warmongering, which begets a revived European settler mentality. This Europe has fallen so far into a moral crevice that it cannot easily climb out of it. Europe's liberal totalitarianism, which we in Greece experienced firsthand 10 years ago, is now everywhere and is throwing wide open the gates so that the xenophobic alt-right form of totalitarianism can darken our doorsteps. The time to rise up is now, on behalf of the peoples of Europe. So, what must we do? Let us begin by grasping that the economic conditions for peace start by decoupling Europe from America's wars. But for that, we must end once and for all Europe's dependence on America's deficits. We, the M25, our movement, have worked for a decade on a plan for Europe. We call it the Green New Deal for Europe. And we're happy to share it with whoever wants to take it, adapt it, revise it, use it. You, the Five Star Movement, and other progressive parties, you have the organization that our movement lacks. We need to work together. We need to work together towards the task of a plan for Europe that may work, while also organizing civil and hopefully governmental disobedience to what this Europe is doing at the expense of Europeans. Ladies and gentlemen, we face a choice. A choice between a dependent on the United States, warmongering, stagnating Europe, or an independent, non-aligned, prosperous green Europe. A choice between a von der Leyen-type commission that greenlights genocide, impedes peace, illegally deletes Pfizer chat history, lobbies for Lockheed Martin, and borrows money in country pay to buy weaponry we don't need, while condemning people and planet to impunity, or European institutions optimized against raw power and in favor of common prosperity. A choice between being at the beck and call of the boardrooms of Rheinmetall, Leonardo, and Pfizer, blind to the tax havens in which war profits and tax fraud hides, while our coast guards turn refugees into corpses. Or a Europe of rational, that is radical humanism. To even have this choice, our immediate task must be to end war, to end genocide, and to terminate, before it's too late, the new austerity going by the name of military Keynesianism. Thank you.